Gaming, Dexter and Officio, we've got a match on our hands. I said it before as well, and fantastic. Deciding Game 3 here. What do we expect is going to come out of picks and bans? Must bans or must picks? Maybe the Gnar for Roccat, but they are the other side now as well.
I wouldn't be too surprised to see a Jax ban, simply because just Zion style Jax, split pushing. It's like the best. It's like his champion style, and
Jax is super
Jax
good,
is good,
especially because people have found out the whole do your level 1 cheese in the jungle, you get your insta level 2, which helps your weaker laning phase. I'm not sure they have to ban it, but picking a blind Gangplank is not the way forward, at least in this game. The good thing for Roccat is almost the fact they are actually on red side, and there's been so many strong picks for each role now. So if you see Lee Sin being banned, Jarvan is now the go-to jungler, which might force CLG into first picking it, which is not bad, but then suddenly Lissandra, Gnar, whatever, and Janna can be open on the other side for Roccat here, so...
I agree.
When do we stop calling it cheese when, I mean, it's just a strat now?
I guess it is just a tactic now, so it is no longer cheese then.
I think the bans will go the same, like just heavy focus on mid lane bans. All assassins being banned out probably, just like LeBlanc, Lissandra, maybe Lissandra, Zed, definitely, Jace.
Yeah.
And we do magically see Zed coming in here for CLG on blue side, and Lucian the first run from Roccat once again.
Lucian has been the go-to ban for Roccat, because I think they know that Doublelift doesn't like Corki or doesn't play Corki, so I'm not surprised there.
Well, Lee Sin being banned is what we just talked about here. It means CLG might now say we have to first pick the Jarvan, and we can then see on the other side Roccat get 2 of the very strong picks and potentially get something like an Elise pick coming in for Jankos, which is one of the picks he really enjoys. He knows how to play it in team fights. Could be the go-to option like we saw in Game 1 for Roccat, where they had a super, super good comp. But I'm still expecting CLG to try and aim for the same style as in the last game. Zion Spartan on something where he can split push, and then Doublelift on more of a team fighting or team play focused AD carry.
I really like the Aurelia ban here, and LeBlanc first pick for Link, really good.
He has a little problem though. Syndra is open.
Syndra's open,
Syndra does super well against LeBlanc in lane, and Rio, while I don't seem to recall him playing it, at least it's not on top of my head here, he
can definitely play it.
I'm 100% sure he can play it if he wants to in this mid lane here. Zed obviously being banned would be the other option against LeBlanc, but it opens up for him to get a Syndra pick, and at the same time, Lissandra is open. We can have the same situation we had in last game, where when you have a Lissandra against a LeBlanc, it is super hard for LeBlanc to actually engage. She can no longer double distortion into a fight because there's a risk of her being snared or ulted and then simply blown up instantly.
Yeah, I was expecting them toggling the jungler right now, and it is of course that Jankos is at least after the Lee Sin and the Jarvan ban coming in, and the Corki as well.
Corki first rotation, obviously, go to pick. I'm not sure if Elise is a good pick here in the first rotation. I would have maybe seen a Gnar or Janna, especially with Aurelia being banned. Gnar would have been a very good pick for the first rotation.
I think it should have been Gnar as well.
It should have been Gnar, Corki probably, but we see. Maybe CLG doesn't plan on picking it.
It's not even like ThinkCard would just opt to just go Elise, no matter what he is. So, and it's not even a game-winning pick for Jankos itself. I mean, he's super good on it, but there are other options. His Pantheon in the last game, in terms of like team fights, weren't too good. But the early game, he had some good plays, and it could have been an option for him again, especially with the Corki. You have the magic damage on one side, and then you get the physical coming in from the Pantheon pick in this side. But LeBlanc, we know it's going to go mid lane. I'm not expecting a top lane one. We have seen it, but I'm expecting a mid lane one.
It was actually Zaz's, wasn't it?
Probably was. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, it could open up for the Lissandra going over to Roccat and CLG not wanting to pick it because, again, they don't want this double magic on the solo laners.
And then again, the Caitlyn, as you guys said, it might be better for Doublelift to go on a champion like that where he doesn't have to make the impact and hard carry and can just...
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Janna pick up right now by Roccat. Janna and top lane would have been the best. Or Syndra, you can also pick Syndra if you don't want to give away anything. Yeah,
Roccat needs some physical damage here on one of the solo laners, because you have a lot of magic already from the first 2 picks being locked in, and if you do go Syndra mid lane against the LeBlanc here, you have to have a physical top laner who's not called Gangplank at this point. I'm not sure if we can see a Jax coming in from Overpower, and even if he wants to pick a blind, so Gnar would just be the option right now for him to take it. Take the Gnar, you get your physical top laner in this situation, unless they feel like CLG has enough in Caitlyn Pantheon and they are just going to take the Lissandra pick. I'm not too sure yet. I would have gone for Gnar if I was a Roccat in this case.
But is it a very safe Orianna for Rio coming in?
So what do you think about the Orianna pick?
You can delay it. You don't have to pick it right now. And that's the thing. If Gnar gets locked in on this side, I'm not sure what Overpower is going to play top lane against it to get the physical damage.
Gangplank.
He would have to go Jax, to be honest. He would have to go Jax.
Renekton.
could be an option.
Wellington saw a lot of play, and he's super good in lane swaps right now. Everyone.
He is. I mean, his laning phase is still good as well. His mid-game power is great, so Wellington could be an option here, but we're going to have to see what we can actually get in this top side, because there is a lot of magic damage coming in from Roccat already before we see the last pick.
What are we thinking here for supports on the side of CLG?
Probably something with sustain to actually make sure. If you have Caitlyn, you can lane swap, but I'm pretty sure that they actually want the 2-on-2 maybe here. So I can see Sona being picked up. Thresh is this go-to champion too for Afromo, and you have kill pressure, so yeah, we
again toggled over to Jax.
Yeah.
I know Zion wants to, he probably just wants to lock it in right now, but
well, the thing is, he knows if he locks in the Jax, there's a high chance of an R pick. And if Roccat can actually stop him at level 1 from getting the Raptors, it is a very hard lane for the Jax one-on-one. So we could see them Roccat focus on getting the deep wards in and actually stop him there. Even get him low, force him to recall. He has to use teleport as well and get that advantage in the one-on-one. Because, I mean, there's a strong team fight from Roccat already with the Orianna, with the Corki. You have Peel from Elise and Janna. So it is a good setup as long as you just get
the Gnar. But it's so incredibly confident from Zion then as well, because he just left it open for all the rotations and just picked the Jax. Said, go ahead, just pick it, it's open.
Jax is really good in the lane swap.
They feel baited.
So maybe CLG wants to lane swap too, because Jax is actually very good in the lane swap too, because you can just stun.
It's super hard to dive him, with the Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But I mean, for CLG, they're going back to the same style, as you said here. So you have, again, the Caitlyn, you have the wave clear, team fighting, and at the same time, you have Zion spotting on his split pushing champion. And thank you very much.
After
a little bit of trolling around, we do get the Gnar coming in. So I like this one.
I like Rocket's comp. Really strong, very good power spike. Both side lanes, like top lane and bot lane, have a very good matchup, I think, in this game here. So we have a really good power curve in terms of scaling and everything for Roccat.
My only concern is there's going to be a lot of pressure from the side of CLG between LeBlanc and Pantheon. It's a super good skirmish in this way, 2v2. Very hard for Orianna to land a shockwave in these small fights. You can flash them, distortion from LeBlanc, and at the same time, Pantheon's early game, if he goes up to top lane, helps out Zion's spot, and if there is a one-on-one, gets him ahead once again. Gnar will fall behind, and Roccat is then going to have to focus on team fighting, and we're going to have the same situation where they have no hard engage, and they have no way of stopping the Jax in the split push.
Yep, well, the players are loading onto the Rift. Game 3 between Roccat and CLG right after this.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters here in Cologne, Germany. I am Lee D-Man Smith, and I'm joined, of course, by Crepo and Saint Vicious for this third matchup between Roccat and Counter Logic Gaming. How do we see this one going? Picks and bans come out once again. We see Zion just like, well, I just went 9-1-4. May as well go Jax once again.
I think he's kind of stubborn going with the Jax pick. They should have probably just taken the Gnar away from him. I don't know. It seems like both these top laners have something to prove. With the gang playing, he's like, ha, I'm going to style, and you like, get out of here,
some style points.
Yeah.
I really wonder why on second rotation they didn't pick Janna. You know, they picked Pantheon. Elise was already picked on the other side. I'm like, just pick Janna. You know, Janna, Caitlyn, strong lane, worked for you last game. Exhaust Janna, get double lane so many times, but we'll see. I like both drafts. Jax is just going to be the cornerstone, you know. Let's see if Jankos realizes that, or Jankos, as we're supposed to say, realizes that and tries to keep him down.
We'll see how it works out. Let's see if any deep wards get placed. It looks like a standard setup, actually. This time, they're not going to go heavy for those deep wards, which they have done for the last 2 matches. Instead, that Spider will skitter right next to ThinkGuard, won't land on him. She actually may fool Jankos into thinking that is a clear path, but instead he will see, of course. Afro very close to Wallite right now. That's what I'm going to say. That's Flay range. He does manage to land a Flay and a Piltover from double if lands. And there is the ward on the blue buff.
Really interesting to see Afram will go 3 health potions and 1 mana potion here. It almost seems like he doesn't want to do any camps. I feel if you do any camps early, we see top lane Jax and Gnar having some fun, but I don't think anything's going to come of that. But yeah, I really feel if the Thresh, if you see him with a mana potion, it's unlikely he'll do a level 1 camp, I feel, because he's going to run out of health way earlier than he's going to run out of mana. So that might be a trigger. Let's see if Roccat spots that, or maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, maybe they want to just do the fast push with the Thresh Caitlyn. I think you can almost instantly push the wave. You get a Flay on the wave, and then you do the Caitlyn Q. And then I can actually punish them really hard if they decide to do the Gromp.
Well, we were talking about punishing. They wanted to punish Jax, but he's not going to get punished this time around. And the damage he actually just did on Overpower basically immediately set that up. So he's going to go back. Overpower's going to join. Jankos looks like probably going to leash him on the top Krugs. Meanwhile, it seems Double Lift and Aframu will take the Krugs. And of course, Gromp will be taken by
I'm going to watch that on my second screen. I'm going to see how much damage they take.
Actually, if you really watch it, CLG is like such a selfish team with how they do everything. Like Zion's going to take his portion in the jungle. Like the Pantheon, he's like, you're on your own. You do the red on your own. And then Double Lift and Aframu are going to be taking the double golems. And you see, Jankos always gets a pull.
Oop. Piltover missed. Nobody saw that double lift. It's all right. Nobody saw that.
Like, they have to get back in time to lane before the second creep dies, else it's not worth the HP loss. They don't.
Well, that's going to be Jankos taking the red buff. ThinkGuard is just about taking the red buff. That took him some doing to clear that one out. Jankos will eventually clear that one up. Meanwhile, bottom lane, level 2 hit by Vander first, not Wallite. Something must have gone wrong with the Gromp there, surely.
Yeah, that's a really big mistake by Roccat. Look at that, like they could have gotten hooked there, burned the flash. They're so weak in training, they need level 2 on both targets, but Janna level 2 doesn't give you that much.
Howling Gale comes across, there's the Flay, flash, ignite onto Wallite, one more hit, has to flash away from the Piltover, tries to turn the trade back again in, but Double Lift could get a couple more hits on him. Now the shield from Janna just enough to keep Wallite alive. Pantheon about to come down, ThinkGuard. Can he flash? Can he catch a stun here? Wallite very low. It would be a tower dive. He can take 1 hit, remember, with that passive that he has on Pantheon. Wallite finally hits level 2, and that may be enough to second guess him.
Rockat's bot lane felt like they were safe because he missed the hook, so it wasn't up. But you got to remember, he's level 1 against 2 level 2. So like, okay, whatever. Like, we hit the Flay on this, we can just all-in you down the lane, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Completely agreed. A really good read by Afro. He knows if he's going to flash Flay, it's going to burn a flash, and possibly flash and heal. And Wallite, I think Double Lift got a little too greedy. You should wait to see if this Piltover actually hits, because he basically wasted his flash. But they have the pressure, and this is basically Rockat's bot lane just screwing up. They should share that XP. If not, it should go all the way to Corki. Never ever in your life should Janna have that level 2.
Yeah, now that Caitlyn has the lead, once Caitlyn has the lead against Corki, you just outrange him and just whittle him down every time he goes up to farm in CS. And if you just get 1 or 2 autos every single time, like, he only has like a bar and a half of health, so there's just no way you can fight back.
Yeah, Janna lanes win because if they initiate the trade, they get that bonus. They get the first hit off. That shield is maximum value. If you waste your shield just in walking up to counter the trade that enemies are doing on you, you're just gonna fall so far behind.
No, Piltover. I tell you what, if Vander had not took of that extra hit, I think, and slowed the Piltover damage, I think it'd have been full hit. It might well have died. He had the Summoner's Heal sat there, but ballsy stuff from Wallite.
Calculator, man.
Yeah, well, he thought that in the first time around, but he's been very aggressive throughout this tournament. We'll see whether he needs to actually maybe taper that back a little bit.
Let's take a look on top lane though. We saw, I think Jack took a camp level 1. Gnar basically said, Jankos, I'm gonna help you. I'll leash your Crux for you. You get a sweet jungle path going. And they're even in CS right now.
Yeah, the
18
wave
to 16.
And on top of that, the wave is actually kind of where Gnar wants it to be. It's pushed up, and he's like, Jax is a pretty hard champion to gank because he has a counter strike and he has a leap strike, so he can get away from things very easily. Kind of hard for Elise to gank that. So I think this is going to end up being a 1v1 lane until both of the champions are level 6.
Oh, Ryu's going to get leashed and stunned up there. Link putting a burst down on him, and Link coming out on top quite heavily against Ryu so far. You can see in terms of CS, 38 to 23. Ryu with next to no mana as well, so he's losing out on a chunk of CS here on the tower as well. Link's doing a good job in this mid lane.
is really not the place you want to be as an Elise. Like, all of your lanes are getting pressured in right now outside of the Gnar, and you don't really have any gank opportunities on the Jax. And Elise, you want to get snowballing early because she's a champion that doesn't really scale that well in the late game because she just doesn't have an ultimate. Yeah. So, yeah, this is just kind of a bad spot for Roccat.
Yeah, right as CLG was vulnerable and bot lane, blew a couple of flashes, didn't have too many wards. Jankos was still farming, and then bot lane, good base timing by CLG. Because they have the push, they can decide whatever they want to base. They go with the pickaxe. They don't greed for the BF sword. Meanwhile, on top lane, Zion's trading with Overpower.
No, maybe making it a little too obvious. Overpower is not backing away, but I'm pretty sure he realizes that Thinkard must be close by. A very slow blue buff as well, because Thinkard spent a lot of time in that bottom half. It's around about the 5.5 minute mark he picked up that blue buff.
So Thinkard's actually waiting for the counter gank here, but he's only level 3, and meanwhile,
he's level 5.
Yeah, Jankos is level 5 because he's been farming this whole time. So I'm not sure how this counter gank's even going to go down.
Oh, instead he's just going to turn around, straight on towards him. Overpower's taking a lot of damage though. Going to have to jump away. Good flash, counter strike. Once again comes out of Zion Spartan, and Jankos is left with a dilemma. He's in a 2v1. He's got the hit points. Oh, has he? Zion Spartan, can he get a second? Oh, Jankos has to burn the flash, and wow.
Yeah, I think that level advantage actually kind of baited them into like, oh, he's level 3, like, get that guy. And he just kind of baited out all the damage, and baited the Gnar to move up. And Zion, he's a really experienced Jax player. He's played this champion so many times, so he knows just the right amount of burst damage you can put out. One on the Gnar and just popped him.
Look what CLG doing here. They're basically almost farming behind the turret. Woolite's countering though, but yeah, they got a gank coming.
Link's coming in. He's going to come around the side. Woolite in trouble. Has to use the Howling Gale, but Doublelift gets up the kill. Link taken low, but he gets away with that one. No problem at all. And this tower also in trouble. Roccat, they're slipping away from this game already.
Yeah, not really sure what happened in the mid lane here. Both the mid laners didn't back yet, but for some reason, Link had enough mana to actually push up the wave and then get a roam off. So I think there must have been some mistrading in the early lane phase where Ryu misused his mana, and he just didn't really get the push.
Look at that gigantic differential in the bottom lane. Double the CS for Doublelift right now, 60 to 27. You can see it's over 1,000 gold already between the two.
Yeah, and there's something not quite tangible in League. It's like the pressure you put on your opponents. You can't see that in the gold count or just in the tower counts. But Doublelift and Afrim are putting up so much pressure. Yeah, they have 23 CS up, but at the same time, or even more, 33 CS up. At the same time, they got the tower to 25% HP. Link is the guy who's moving first. CLG is doing to Roccat what Roccat was doing to CLG game 1.
Yeah, this definitely looks like a repeat of the game 1. It's just mainly, I think the Rockat's just a little bit more experience in the 2v1. They seem like they're like a little bit more on top of it. And CLG in these last 2 games are like, yo, maybe we can just beat them out standard. Like, Zion is a pretty strong laner, and they wanted to pick lane bullies like Caitlyn and Thresh, and it's just working out for them.
They did get really lucky with the Gromp going to the wrong target though, but they punished it accordingly, and there's not much more you can expect from Afro and Doublelift there.
Well, Thinkard and Afro clearing out the ward. Vander will place a second one, but that will get swept instantly out. And Vander, again, vision denied. I got another one. Keep them coming. Keep them going. Keep on sweeping. Vander does keep himself that vision in the tri-bush. Not ideal, not the best of vision, but they have got one in the river, you can see. That's about to time out, though. But it will be enough for now. Valkyrie away from Woolite there. Away from that death sentence, and you can see Doublelift. He's already hit level 6. That ace in the hole. It's been stored. I'm not too sure whether he's going to start using it on cooldown, though.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for them. Doublelift sitting on BF sword money already. Well, I think Woolite just doesn't have anything. He has 640 gold right now. He just can't afford anything right now. I think Doublelift might even finish his eye edge before Triforce's build on Woolite, and that means you're in a real big trouble.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's not really like an Elise can even gank this lane at all. I mean, how are you supposed to get this gank in? The wave is always in the right spot for CLG, and Janna doesn't really have like that much gank pressure. Like, what are you gonna like tornado them or something? And then on top of that, if you see where Aframu's standing, he's always off on the side, split away from Doublelift, so you can always just lantern him out of danger.
At the same time, if TPs come in, you need to have Mega Gnar. If you don't have Mega Gnar, Jax is just gonna completely wreck that fight even harder. They'll take tower, they'll take dragon, and the game will instantly be over. So Roccat is just hemorrhaging on bot lane right now.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised though that Overpower is staying even in CS, even though he did give up that first blood. I thought he'd be pressured a little bit harder.
Oh, Link and Ryu going back at it. There's a teleport. There's going to be the shockwave pulled in. Nicely done. Link having to dash away from this one. Teleport was cancelled by Overpower in the top lane. Zion didn't bother using his, so that's going to be down on cooldown for a while. We'll see whether that plays into effect to anything. But the blue buff, that's going to be gifted across to Ryu. Should get that one locked up. We'll see how it works out.
And that's exactly what Krepo was talking about. Overpow didn't have his Mega Gnar when he was setting up the TP in, so even if he came in, he wouldn't really be that much of a threat anyways.
Oh, now he's going for trouble. Overpow is going to get Mega Gnar. Zion Spartan low on hit points already, is going to get slammed and stunned, thrown against the wall. Overpow definitely going to win this duel, no doubt about it. There's the kill. That's a straight up 1v1.
Yeah, looks like he's going to be a threat to the Jax, though. He just ran him over.
It was a bit of a fight on bottom as well. Looks like CLG came out on top. Look at that wave. It's pushing back towards CLG. If you have to base and the wave's pushing away from you and you're already double CS down, it's looking pretty dire for Woolite.
Yeah, Monsoon was used by the looks of it by Vanda. So Wall's been pumping them rockets out as well. Ryu was also making his way down there. Link once again goes aggressive, lands the chains, gets the stun, but not a great deal of damage just yet. Morale Nomcon has been completed. Ryu definitely being more aggressive now he's got that blue buff.
I have to agree with Stain here what he said about Gnar early. Like, imagine if CLG just picked that Gnar. Zion Spartan got to level 2, he got the help from the jungler, and even then he's down. He lost an all-in trade there, but down bottom.
Yeah, you can see actually what Roccat are doing. They're trying to pressure that mid turret down as fast as possible to free up this bottom lane, because they are very much in turmoil right now. 103 CS to 52. Woolite is just having a nightmare.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's really up to Gnar to carry this game at this point. I mean, he even got first blood and he's still bullying out his lane, and he's putting a lot of pressure on Jackson. I'm actually not too familiar with which champion outscales which. I think they're going to be pretty comparable in team fights, and it looks like the Gnar's holding his own.
Did they bait it? Did they not? The shockwave whiffs from Ryu. He gets caught out. He will go down. Link picks up a kill. Not before Thinkard gets taken down, though. He may try and turn this back around. Now the top lane. Zion Spartan and Overpower going back at it against. Mega Gnar's not going to get turned. He's in trouble. The boomerang will hit. He might be able to get the range. Zion Spartan could juke it back out of this bush instead. Oh, has to flash away. That's a good old duel going on in that top lane.
I don't think Overpower hasn't even based yet. Look at his items. Well, he's sitting just on Ninja Tabi, a couple of Thorns, and a Clawhammer, and he's building a full HP Jax that's coming back from base. This really poses big questions regarding the draft and the way like CLG handled that. They should have probably picked up that Gnar.
Oh, yeah. Jankos is going to try and duel with Link. He's trying to bait it out. The shield comes out. Is it enough? Howling Gale comes through. There's going to be the man drop coming from Thinkard, but it's more of a mare flop, and he doesn't find anything.
Such a poet.
Yeah, I think at CLG what they need to do at this point is they already have the bot lane put down. They need to start rotating their lanes over and putting the Jax in the bot lane. I mean, Corki's really weak at this point, and he can't exactly duel the Jax, even if the Jax isn't that strong. And they just need to start tumbling these turrets down and using the fact that Caitlyn can fast push turrets very well.
And you can already see that Aframu's moved up here. Thinkard making his way, but that's just freed up Roccat to move in on this dragon, something they should never have a chance of going towards at the moment.
With Thresh roaming, it's really bad for CLG because Corki can just range farm against the Caitlyn. He's not going to walk into auto attack range. He'll get maybe 4 out of 6 CS every wave, but that's more than he was getting denied when both supports were down the lane. So I think Afra moving may have been a mistake there.
Yeah, it's actually really surprising that CLG didn't manage to pick up that dragon, even though they had like such a massive advantage in the bot lane. I think. Yeah, I'm just not really sure where they went with that.
I mean, is that just simple cockiness of like, well, we've got this guy, I'm beating him so well, you're free to go and do what you want? Or should he just like, we need to punish the hell out of this guy, we're really hurting him hard in lane?
It might be Zion Spartan going like, hey guys, like I'm starting to fall behind more and more every time. Like, you free up Thresh, go for a gank, get that overpower down, snowball that matchup, and that should finish the game, but they sacrificed the dragon. I think they weren't watching the timers.
Oh, flash play. Now you can see Woolite in trouble again. A good Howling Gale. There's the teleport. Overpower coming in as Mega Gnar as well. Doesn't quite pounce on them enough and will back away. That was weird.
I mean, that could actually have been really brutal if he got just the right hop in and then ultied them into the wall. That could have been.
I think it's because he transformed before he got there rather than just coming in and then getting the bounce.
Yeah.
Well, Ryu, very much low on mana, locked up by Link. He should have enough with the cooldowns. The blue buff on him should take him down the kill. There it is. Ignite was used. Actually, no, it wasn't at all light. It was just the burn that managed to catch him. So, Link coming out on top in the duel versus Ryu.
CLG can rotate bot here pretty well. I think they can siege down that tower, see if Corki can clear it. But Link, many people are doubting him, but he's playing really well.
He is, but Overpower is trying to keep up. What was he thinking?
Yeah, all he had was Ninja Tabi and like some basic Doran's items.
Based from that one
and that's a tower gone. That was a really bad mass play. And now, actually, he's going to get the chain onto Vanda. Not quite enough this time around, but that's the mid turret. And that is exactly what we were talking about Roccat trying to do, free up that bottom lane. CLG have done it for them.
I'm really impressed with Link this game. You know, he's been pushing in Ryu, roaming first for the first time, and you see CLG just basically blossoms once he starts doing that. Put pressure bottom, put pressure mid. Basically, one by one, they try and fight Link, but he just takes them on.
Well, I think a lot of that is just on the fact that he's, like, LeBlanc is one of Link's really big comfort picks. He's pretty much what he mains, like, all those bursty mage-type carry champions. He's a really big fan of LeBlanc, really big fan of Orianna, and I think this is pretty much, now that LeBlanc's back in the meta, like, this is his go-to champion right now, and this is what he needs to be on. He can roam around the map, he can apply pressure, and he's just doing great on it.
That Hearthstone practice is doing him so well right now. It's that scary movement of the mouse. Oh, he's going in once again. This time Ryu does manage to pull the ball, goes defensive.
He is playing his cards right, that's for sure.
He absolutely is, Crepo. So, Ryu, blue buff is up. He wants it. He's like, come on, where's my jungler, Jankos? This is Spawn. You're meant to be here on time. This is not how you do it in Korea. But he will get this one, or at least assuming Jankos' little spiderlings don't steal it away from him. There we go. Clean pickup.
All right, so this is really good what CLG did here, where they rotated their AD carry and support up top to tumble down that turret, because they have the mid and the bot turret down. Next thing, and Roccat have to know this is coming. You can see that they're actually rotating the Corki up there to try to hold this.
Oh, the cocoon lands on Link. Is there any follow-up? Does manage to get some burst damage down and pulls the Mimic out. And actually, that may be the mid turret for Roccat.
Yeah, but it looks like they're going to probably end up trading this top turret. Now that the Thresh is roaming back top. Caitlyn is still quite a bit stronger than the Corki, so it's only a matter of time before that turret goes down.
Well, they're going to
penalty coming in.
I'm not sure what with. Link does come back, tries to go for Jankos. Repel comes out there. Shockwave held. Not going to get used.
Ooh. Questionable shockwave.
Yeah, was that on cooldown? I didn't actually check the cooldown. I would love to see a rewind on that. I'm just going to double check it. No, it was available the whole fight.
It looked like he was waiting for the LeBlanc to do a dash in to try to finish him off, but just a little bit mistiming.
Well, it doesn't matter. It pulled Jax away from bottom lane. Now it came down there, so Overpower prevented any push, but you can see that Doublelift is shoving the mid wave. Jax is coming across, so Zion Spartan's going to try and head off Wallite and Vander. Remember, this is not exactly a fed Corki, so Zion Spartan's got a good chance at dueling. Hasn't got great items yet, still only that fade, so doesn't want to get overconfident here. And instead we'll just force them away while the rest of CLG try to cut him off. Aframu's thought about going the deep route there, but finds an Overpower who slings a giant rock towards him. He gets in, gets the slam down. Aframu in trouble. He will get caught out. Now Doublelift's in trouble. Overpower's continued to follow through. Howling Gale catches two of them. Overpower taking down Doublelift. Is there enough hit points for them? Vander will manage to keep the heal going. He gets out. Now Ryu in trouble. Zion Spartan being found. Is he going to try and lock him down there? Ace in the hole comes through. Zion Spartan gets run down by Ryu. And this is a close battle. It's been I think a 2-for-2 overall. It's just been a long fight.
Overby was the guy dying there. It was really impressive what amount of map awareness he had. He just knew that he could go in for that play, slightly outnumbered, but his team would collapse quicker than CLG, and they got 2 kills.
He's going to go for it. Finds Vander. Leash. He's dead. I don't think that's going to help. Boop. And the question is, will Rio get close enough? Jankos comes around, the cocoon has to land, and it does! Oh, dear me. Distortion wasn't quite up in time, I think.
Yeah, that's his Vander mind games right there. He doesn't have his Mage Eyes just yet, so he can die as many times as he wants to save his teammates and get that shutdown on LeBlanc.
Yeah, and yeah, Link's just going to end up face planting into the wall, trying to escape. Just not quite close enough. I think even if there's just like no way he's going to get out of that. At least had the distance on him. Just good to go. And that's going to be a shutdown. It's actually going to be really big.
But this loses so much pressure for CLG. Look at the top lane. Corki pushing it in. Bot lane. Gnar pushing that in. Yeah, sure, they have some pressure in the middle lane, but they can't go too deep because then they get collapsed on. And the buff resets.
Oh,
Zion got that one.
Got it. Zion got it. Nicely done. So, managed to hop in. That's going to keep it away from Ryu for now. He's going to get himself a nice 2-3 waves of farm as well in that top lane if he just chunks it all the way through.
So now Dragon is coming up. CLG actually have a decent amount of vision around there. They have a couple pink wards. I'm not sure they had the exact timer on it. I don't think that they saw them Roccat get the last one, but I'm sure they had the icon cleared. So they're going to probably back off a mid and just go and collapse back to their vision and then try to get a pick with their team comp. Like LeBlanc she has her DFG now. She's definitely strong enough to pick off anybody who would be face checking in.
Well, we're going to have Overpower running off towards that top lane because Zion Spartan will take that tower down if he's left free on it. They tried to set up a gank with the trap just in the edge of that bush. Overpower coming through. This tower's going down nonetheless. And actually, you saw Overpower being a little risky here. He's not too sure about this duel at the moment. He's only got the Randians. Trinity Force not completed by Zion though, so he should come out on top of that one. Teleport available for both top laners, so we'll see where they get involved in this inevitable dragon duel.
See, Zion's probably doing a smart thing. It looks like he's going down the lane. He's actually just farming the jungle, waiting for Gnar to push up, knowing that he can't trade. But yeah, getting distance between Gnar and Jax here isn't too bad for Zion. Overpower goes to Mega Gnar as well, so he'll deplete his rage really quickly. Maybe CLG can pick a fight right after, but it looks like they're leaving the area.
Sticks around. Hasn't gone back. There's Zion yet sticking around in there. Are they gonna try and set up? I know Doublelift was pushing the bottom there, but actually Link fancies this one. There's a nice juicy Janna target there. That's really what they like to pick on.
Reminds me of Xiao Shai in last year's NALCS. He would basically rotate his LeBlanc down bottom, put the AD carry in a support mid. AD carry would pan out left and right, get deep vision, and meanwhile, you'd have to be so scared on bottom. You can't leave your AD carry alone. LeBlanc will win that fight. So basically, you're either forced to somewhat freeze the wave or have your support with you constantly, and this is good members placement from CLG.
Yeah, and eventually Roccat will just be too afraid to actually go for that dragon, and they're just going to give it up and just not even go for it, not put up a fight for it. But yeah, the LeBlanc is just really dangerous. They're using her really effectively. She's 6-1-1, has a lot of kills, has her core items, the DFG and the Morellos. She has a lot of CDR, so she can just pop people pretty much every 20 seconds.
Here we go.
She can kill somebody.
And there's the kill. The exhaust, not quite going to be enough. Oh, it is. The Howling Gale, the ace in the hole comes through, doesn't get blocked off by Jankos. Jankos tries to turn this back onto Link, but there's a Lantern out. And Aframu will pull him, and that could well be the Dragon. We'll see whether they set up for it. Jankos, oh, actually the Cocoon landed on Doublelift. Not a follow-up, though.
Zion's ready to TP, though. He backed off an R. He doesn't want to get cancelled by Mega Gnar.
And now Link's ultimate's already back up, so if another person decides to walk up like this, Elise might be able to pop him.
Oh, the Cocoon,
he gave it away.
So close. Yeah, gave it away. Walleye popping the rocket off too early.
Jankos was really acting. He was acting as if he didn't see Link, and then he wants to wait for Link to commit and put a Cocoon in his face and then basically kill him. But that's just miscommunication. Woolite should have never rocketed.
Triforce now completed, and this time Zion does fancy the fight with him, but this is giving the Dragon to Roccat. Now, Overpower, will he turn it back around? No Mega Gnar available, as you said. And that's still a close duel, despite the fact he was still in, I guess, Mini Gnar, I guess we could call it, or just Nah.
That was a really confident play from Roccat there. I mean, they ended up losing their support, but they ended up getting the Dragon out of that, so just really they understand that the threat is the LeBlanc, and they know that she's chunked out. They're like, okay, well, she's not here. We're just going to be ballsy and go for it.
That's the danger when you play LeBlanc. You can't be too telegraphed in your plays. You need to have vision control. You want that sweeper on a couple of people on your team. If you come out of dark, you can get them, but if you dash into a tornado, into a cocoon, even Orianna ultimates that predict you going back to your clone, for example, then you can just get popped immediately.
There's so much pressure, though. I've got to feel it. When the team fights happen on Overpower to actually land that slam, because basically Walleye is kind of a threat, but not really. Ryu is probably going to be the focus target for, say, Link and Doublelift. Get on there. Doublelift at the moment has got 2,000 gold built up. You can see a static shift completed over Walleye. 2,000 gold advantage over his opposite number. It's a big, big difference, and it's actually the difference in the team gold right now.
He's so far behind that he has to go Vamp Scepter before he even gets the BF Sword, and like Trinity Force into Vamp Scepter. If you stay on that build for so long, you have no damage increase at all. Doublelift has Eye Edge and Shiv. He's so much stronger right now. One more item with Janna Shield, he's going to start dominating these team fights.
Sends the Spider in, doesn't find them, but don't think they're falling for it. They're going to back away from this one. So Jankos and Overpower not getting caught out by the bait. Jankos will get away clean. Bottom lane, Zion Spartan. Well, we've seen what he can do on this Jax. He's going free reign once again now as things have loosened up. Oh, Aframu's in trouble. He's going to have to burn the flash. They're going to bounce through. Good flay, but I don't think it's enough for Aframu to get away from this one. Overpower should take him down. Easy kill picked up for that. Well, while that's all happening, teleport comes in. Zion Spartan going straight in the middle. There's the man drop. Is it going to be enough? Quick blow back there. Zion Spartan not able to get close enough. Thinkard picked off. Zion Spartan now the focus target. They're going to keep chasing. Look at Link though, just hit and run straight around the side. Overpower bounces across, but he's just completely sold a dummy by the distortion, and Link is out of there. 2 for 1.
Impressive play by Roccat. I really like what Overpower's doing. He's always sidestepping enough to switch to the next target if they come too close, and that's the way he got Thresh.
Doublelift getting caught. Is it enough? Didn't quite get the slowdown on him. And Roccat, though, they can keep pushing here. They have an advantage, but it's only a short one.
Double's completely out of mana here, too.
Wow, Link going in. Walleye very, very low now. Jankos focusing on towards Link. Which one are they going for? Is it the right one? Again, Jukes and Doublelift down to nothing.
They need to start bringing pink wards to these fights. Link always survives going into his invisibility and then dashes out a second later. If you drop a pink ward immediately, you can just burst him down. You don't even stop attacking him, and that's what they need. But look at Overpower. He takes a little step to the right here just to zone out Doublelift in case he can switch, but then decides Aframu is still the better target. His team's fine. Janna Tornado is going to interrupt the Jax. Ryu will survive. If Link didn't snipe Ryu here, this would have been such a good fight for Roccat.
Yeah, I'm not sure why CLG is just trying to engage this 4v5. They just lost their support. I mean, they didn't really use too much. Yeah, they used Overpower's ultimate, but I don't think it's really going to matter in this situation when you have so much disengage, and you can't really engage on them with that.
Well, this is definitely a juicy best of 3. 10-7, 2,000 gold differential. Gigantic advantage was built early on by Double Lift over Woolite, but it's still there, still 2,000 gold. But as this game goes longer and longer, that will dissipate and become less of a threat. Overpower and Jankos in his top are hoping that Zion Spartan goes visiting instead. They will get spotted out. He will sweep out that ward. Oop, didn't quite get it. Second sweeper required, not ideal.
Yeah, that's the trick you can do, especially in an early game. Sweep it and walk through it. People won't really notice their ward's vision disappearing, and then suddenly you appear at the other side of the wall, and if you can make a catch, it's really good. The downside is if you catch nobody, well, you just wasted a sweeper.
Yeah, that's exactly what just happened there. Pink ward spotted. Jankos will get that, but the Scuttle Crab was picked up by CLG, so they've got themselves some Baron vision for now. Dragon up 2 minutes time. Link once again waiting off the side. See if he can keep Ryu in some of prison. But Ryu, he's got the Zonya's completed now, so relatively safe. It's something he's absolutely required because Link definitely had the better of him in this duel. 7, 1, and 2 for Link currently.
Yeah, we're about to hit a good power spike on Double Lift though. He's so close to that last Whisper, and yeah, even if BT gets finished on Cork, I don't think it's going to matter all too much. If CLG fights smart with Last Whisper, they can whittle down Gnar. They just have to be 5 together before getting caught.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if they're going to set up for this dragon and try to get a pick here. Everybody's hit their pretty close to their core components and their power spikes, and they can get a pick at dragon and actually secure their first dragon and get that 6% AD and AP. This is going to be a really big win for them.
Blue buff fight impending. Think Guard nearby. They're going to try and smite this one away. Ryu and Woolite are the ones that are nearby. We do see flanks coming around from Jankos to try and get around the side. Maybe can land one of those cocoons onto Link. He's been fairly successful. Link's going to try and steal it. Not going to happen. Ryu got it.
Yeah, Ryu got that.
Well, here it is. I mean, they don't really have that many pink wards setting up for this dragon.
Oh, hello. Overpower going for Afremu once again. He fancies an easy pickup here. And Afremu's kind of singled out.
He loses Mobies.
Well, they're going to come around the back of him. Ryu actually getting focused on by Link while this is happening. Afremu will go down. Ryu, well, played it wisely. Thinkard pops that ultimate. Actually, he's going to take a chunk of change there. Vander flash, Howling Gale. That could be Thinkard caught out here. He has to flash away. The rest of Roccat chasing back on. 20 seconds until that dragon up. This is looking very good for Roccat. Cocoon does not land from Jankos. Link in the pit right now, but he'll be able to distort out. But Roccat, they have the positional advantage.
I feel like we just saw this. Overpower catching out the Thresh and popping him right before a team fight, and CLG tried to engage on the Orianna, but she also has Hourglass, so even if the Pantheon landed on her, I don't think that he would have killed her, and probably would have baited CLG into a really bad fight.
It's incredibly smart. Gnar is so mobile. If you pop Mobi Boots away from Thresh, he's just going to be so slow and get caught out, and none of the other teammates can commit because they'll just walk into Orianna ulti.
Overpower trying to get that Gnar going. The counter-strike already used. They're down, dragon down to half. Link comes around. He wants to find a juicy target. Looks like he's found Overpower. That may well be the target they want. The dragon has gone their way. They get the kill, but Roccat, they're going to go. They're going to get the hell out of there. That's all they're going to lose. The question is, can they push the mid-turret? You can see Double Lift. He's already picked up the wave. He's already pushing it in. Static Shiv on him. That last Whisper is completed. Should be able to chunk down this turret. It's going to get some damage down. Janna shields it out. Zion Spartan tries to get a hit. The hook on Woolite. The shockwave, though, quickly counters. Afremu and Zion Spartan pulled in. Double Lift, though, got so much damage. Gets the turret down and chases. Ryu in trouble. Exhaust is going to be enough to slow him down. Doesn't quite get the kill. The tower burns him down. Woolite coming back around. Can he get some clean pickup here? You can see Jankos. Guys on. Cocoon, not quite enough. And CLG, now they're running scared.
And this is how one mistake on one side and a good play on the other side basically means the winner or loser of the team fight. Vander with an incredible ulti and exhaust followed by the Orianna ulti. At the same time, Link face plant into a wall. Double Lift committed. Didn't have any follow-up from his teammates. He got zoned out. Really good play by Roccat.
CLG, although Roccat noticed this, they're going to go Baron. There's no one backed off. They're going to cancel it. Thinkard's still around. Risky fight for sure. There's going to be the teleport onto the lantern. Is it going to be enough to peel him away? Zion Spartan went and got full health and backs away. The cocoon lands. Not going to get followed up quite enough. But Roccat, they tried to make a play. Wasn't quite working. Baron stopped.
That was a really smart lantern TP in my opinion. Jax can zone them out, and if he gets caught, he can just click the lantern to get back out. So solid play by CLG. I think they should have sent Ryu back to base sooner. And it's like Saint said last game, you need some of these like contingency plans. You need to think a step ahead, because if your Baron fails and you're standing there just with your pants down, nothing's going to happen.
The stop actually had a double counter as well, because I think there was about 2 or 3 waves in the top lane that actually were lost to the tower because Roccat didn't go up there, didn't choose to go for that instead. And instead, it seems that this game, still 2,000 gold between the two, but you saw If Doublelift is given free time on the tower, he can actually chunk it down very quickly.
CLG is still down 3 dragons, though, so this is starting to put a timer on the game. If Roccat can actually secure those next 2 dragons, then it's probably going to be a win for them.
Oh, those spirits are giving Afromu away. They're like, I'm not here, guys. Don't come for me again, Overpower, please. Instead, he will be free. Thinkard getting himself some free farm down the bottom. Much needed, but it's 100 CS differential between Doublelift and Woolite right now. Yankov's going to chase on towards Doublelift. He will take that lantern to freedom, but Roccat are the ones that are starting to gain some sort of priority in this game.
I'm not a big fan of the Pantheon split push at this point in the game. He's down bottom, pushing out a wave. He doesn't even clear it, neutralizes the wave. I mean, if you commit that much, you might as well give the other wave a small shove so it start building up and you can play around with timers. Right now, that wave's equal on bottom. And
out of position. CLG actually going to try and shove this one. Roccat actually put a lot of invested in trying to steal away that blue buff. They did get it. CLG thought about pressuring them in that mid lane. I think if they had a bit of vision and realized that Overpower and Jankos were nowhere near this fight, they almost certainly would have pushed.
Yeah, Overpower and Jankos guaranteed the top wave to push. They want waves to push, then layer up it with vision, then do it again, and then make a pick. That's basically the order they want to do things in. And look at bot lane. I hate it when games become this Baron dance with no push on the bottom lane. It becomes incredibly tedious. One blue trinket, one ward of the wall.
Oh, Vander dead. Boom. Thank you very much. Double the second free kill there, but they're going to try and react to this one. Bit dangerous there. Woolite, I think, was hooked in by Afromu. And Roccat, they are the ones that are going to have to disengage. Link's actually looking to flank around here. That cooldown on that ultimate is very, very short now. You can see he's got that cooldown build up. And
is he soloing the Baron? Okay, looks like Jax is going to solo the Baron. That's actually one of the strong points. Pantheon and Jax can duo Baron very easily. They both have good ways of blocking the damage, but I'm pretty sure Rockat's going to spot this out, and they're going to have to pull away from this.
Zion at half hit points by that Baron. Does actually give Roccat a little chance there. Yeah, maybe a little overconfident with a Triforce and a Water's Mail.
But there's not enough pressure, you know. Roccat can just group up 5 men around the mid lane, around the Baron, because they don't care about top, they don't care about bottom. Basically, they just want to spot CLG every time they do Baron, get them low, and then invade and play the game again. I really think CLG, if your comp is based around picks, you have a split push coming with Jax, you need to push out that ball lane right now and see if you can make picks. Link was so close, picked off Janna, but nothing really happened.
But guess what? That dragon comes up in 90 seconds, and this is where it's starting to get the pressure on CLG. Yeah. Like, oh, we give up this one more dragon, we're going to be in such a bad spot for the rest of the game, because if it's going to put that timer on it. So every 6 minutes, you have to secure that dragon or you pretty much lose the game.
Well, we've been talking about that bottom wave being pushed, and that is exactly what Overpower's doing right now. Is he going to keep going? He's collected up a chunk. We do see Link hovering around the Baron, but I don't think CLG are going to be looking to go for it. He can carry on pushing. There's around about a 30-second cooldown on that teleport, so I think Roccat needs to delay it. They're going to go for Ryu. Is it going to be enough? Link take a very, very low from this one, though, and now that may actually spell Roccat to push on towards it, but as I said, no teleport. It would be a 4v5.
You know what I think CLG is going to go for? I think they're going to trade the Baron for the Dragon. I think that's going to be the power play. They know that Rockat's going to invest a lot of resources into securing this next Dragon, and they have a ton of burst damage. Like, Doublelift is extremely fed. Jax is amazing at doing Baron, and Pantheon can tank it very easily. So I think they might actually invest in trading that Baron for the Dragon.
Overpower hooked in, just bounces out. That's what you can do with now.
When Overpower went bottom, though, it wasn't shown on the screen, but he didn't kill the entire wave. He basically killed enough for it to slow push on a timer. Look, he did that about 35 seconds ago, and look where the wave is right now. In 30 seconds, Dragon's going to spawn. But CLG, or Roccat actually, going for Baron.
Looks like Rockat's actually going to be the one that might trade it.
The strongest with Ryu and Orianna and Jankos, but they have got the shields. If Ryu just needs to be dodging that poison, they do know indeed. Overpower's coming around the side. They have to peel away from this one. Jankos actually slowed heavily by that Baron. And now with them low, let's see if CLG fancy a bit of a dance.
That's such a risky play. All they had to do was let that top lane push. Look at bottom lane.
And that's the Dragon.
If Roccat was around Dragon right now, they had that completely.
And this is going to be the first Dragon for CLG, which is actually one of the most important ones, because they have all these items which scaling on the AD and the AP are really going to come into play right now.
Where's Zion going? They're waiting around for Zion here. He's chasing the Scuttle Crab straight into Jankos. There they come. Don't quite get the slow. Don't get the slam. Everything misses. And Zion Sparks one flash is enough to counter the entire Roccat team.
It's almost death by crab, man.
Death by crab.
Okay, so yeah, well, good to have you on the street, Saint. That's for sure.
Quality
I
inside
hate
there.
myself.
No, but I think Saint's right about the Dragon buff though. Like this, not only do they get the buff, they prevent Roccat from going on to buff 4. And that's really tricky. Now they can sacrifice maybe an inhib for Dragon number 4 and then say like, okay, we have 6 minutes to close out this game. I really feel Roccat made a mistake there. They had such beautiful split push going. Then they wanted that shiny Baron, but too much.
Well, Overpower went for that Thorn Mail, which is going to give Doublelift second thoughts about trying to chunk down that Gnar when he comes in next time.
He has BT though. So
He does. Good lifesteal back some of it, but you got to hope that nobody else is hitting you at the same time.
This is true.
Overpower going to take himself the Gromp. And that's kind of a Dutch name.
Indeed.
I kind of feel like. Bottom wave. He talked about it slow pushing. It's slow pushing for CLG this time because Doublelift went down and cleared that back.
And he didn't take all the farm. You see, Doublelift's learning right now. He takes half the farm, sets up a slow push. Because if you take all the farm, by the time you get to the other side of the map, that wave's already hit the tower, and you're too late to actually use the pressure. So that's if you're learning split push 1-on-1, guys. Leave the melee creeps, kill the range creeps, and let that wave stack up.
It's very hard to tell an AD carry that. Like just leave some farm. That's all you got to do. Don't take it all. Clears the wave.
But you're right, it sets them on a timer. Look at how big that wave is getting on bottom.
Yeah, Jax's TP is actually up also, so I'm curious if he's going to rotate down to that or if he's just going to come and try to force the Baron with them. Because they know Gnar is going to go down there, and they might be able to bait out his TP if they decide to bully and push on the Baron.
Well, there he is, shows himself. Let's see what they do. Roccat are being fairly aggressive. Vanda needs to be careful he doesn't walk in towards Link, because he's popped him a few times already this game. Wisely didn't go for that Soul Stealer, strangely enough. Instead, good go for that Mikhails. We'll keep our eye on Gnar down the bottom lane. Ryu is going to clear out. Oh, good chunk down there. Oh,
he's stuck.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, he's going to... Oh, Link mistimed it.
Jet lag.
Jet lag. Yeah. Didn't they come the same time as you, Satan?
I think he would have been all right even if he did hit that chain, but...
Jankos caught this time around. The shockwave is pulled. Link not going to go down. He's going to get caught out this time around. Overpower teleports in. The Baron was stopped. Actually, not sure. Oh, Overpower hooked in. Can't hop away from this one. This will get locked down. Afro actually picked up the kill. Not so sure how he got that one. Zion Spartan's going to chase on this one. Can he get close enough? There's going to be the man drop. Is it going to be? Oh, Wooler hooked in. He goes down. Link caught out. He will get dropped as well. This is a messy fight going either way at the moment. Zion Spartan now taking some damage. Vanda tries to come around. Ryu gonna run for his life. Jankos is running all sorts of defensive duties. It's a 2-for-1 in favor of CLG, but God, that was sloppy.
Yeah, really sloppy fight. I think CLG played it well. Really solid hook there from Afro. That's what separated the fight from being a victory or a loss for CLG there. But in my opinion, I don't like Baron baiting when you don't have deep vision all the way in the jungle. You should layer that vision, make them afraid to face check every brush in a row, and that gives you enough time to make good picks. Because that was really close into Rocket's favor.
Yeah, the block though, it's actually really dangerous. If you go anywhere near the Baron walks, you just always hop over.
Just going to kill Jankos here. Boom. Not too sure what he thought he could do there, but that's going to be a Baron.
Yeah, that's Baron for sure now. Unless Ryu can somehow steal this.
Up. He's going to try and come around. Doublelift taking low. Ooh. Oh, gets out of the shockwave with the 90 caliber nets on his hourglass. No, Doublelift just picks himself up. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. I'll take a Baron.
Doublelift thinks he's losing or something. He's just like dashing straight into people. That's some of the most aggressive Caitlyn I've ever seen. I think it's really smart against an Orianna. You know she's going to try and cut off your retreat with your Orianna ball. If you get hit, you're dead anyway, so you might as well risk it, go all in. Worst case, she blows her ulti on you. Team still gets Baron. Yep. Nicely done. So, CLG with the Baron up. Let's see what they do with it. It's only 3 minutes, remember, and they've fought hard for this one. They've got a 7,000 gold built up lead. Well, not a chance of getting that dragon, but that just shows you they haven't got a clue about the time when CLG snuck in on that one. Yeah, I'm not sure CLG is going to be able to get too much off of this. They'll probably finish off the last outer turret, and they'll probably get dragon, but since the Baron's only 3 minutes long, I think that's all they're going to be able to get, and then we're just going to go right back into dancing. So let's see how it works out. The big thing for Roccat in that last fight was the fact that Overpower was hooked. He was the one that went down straight away. No Mega Gnar at all in that fight. And it does show, if they can catch him before he gets to change, they can just pop him. It's so tricky in a team environment. You hook a Gnar and half of you will be like, okay guys, let's all hit him. But you need all of you guys to just do all the damage in one go. Because if you don't, if you spread the damage out, it'll just become Mega Gnar, get 500 all the extra HP, and it'll just bounce to your team and just slam you against the wall. Well, not too pretty. Fairly sizable wave here, but that's getting burned down quickly because Roccat do have good wave clear. That's the one thing they have going for them in this siege situation.
And what's been working out for CLG is Link's been able to find the targets, been able to get those kills, 8, 3, and 5, but Roccat deal with that wave with ease. Now they have to deal with Zion Spartan trying to split push across here, but Rio's going to come across. That wave will go down. Not quite as easily because they have the Baron buff. That's going to be tower going down if they don't deal with Zion Spartan quickly. The bottom unit turret does go down because it's going to be double lift, and now he's on this. Roccat actually have gone from dealing with it well to struggling. Woolite hooked in. QSS straight away from that death sentence.
Those are the Mikhails actually, not QSS.
Mikhails was it? Okay. Didn't see. Yeah, he hasn't got a QSS. How can you use that? Just cheating.
But that's a really long cooldown to be down. If he actually hits another thresh hook and inside that timing window where that's down, that could be certain death for him. And this is like the real beauty of the new Baron buff, is, especially with Jax, is you can actually split out a second lane, and not only do you have to deal with this massively fed Jax that scales both off of AD and AP.
Look how quick that tower goes down when he hits it.
You got to deal with the minions too.
Yeah, Link's hovering in between the lanes. This is perfect. This is like an accordion style. You know, one side goes in, one other side goes out. Once they move out to one side, Jax backs off again. You'll see double if walk up here. If not, Link, he wants to assassinate. They're a little afraid of Mega now right now. But if CLG has patience, they can get both towers down within the duration of the Baron buff.
Yeah, they are both very low. It looks like Zion's just going to collect up the next wave. He's just clearing it off. See, Link is still waiting after a move. He can land on those death sentences again. It's not going to get cleared so easily. Rio doing what he can to tank out. He's actually trying to tank the siege minion out. That's what he's doing. You can see instead of hitting the turret, Zion Spartan, there's the buff going in. Couple of hits, boom, inhib turret goes down. Number 1, Roccat are exposed. The rest of CLG reacts. Ryu gets focused, chunked down to half hit points, and the rest of CLG moves straight in. Death sentence onto Gnar. Overpower pounces away, tries to turn it back around. Thinkcard tanks out the damage from Woolite, and now that inhib is going to go down. I get to see another hook landing, this time Jankos. Link still looking to find the target. The inhib goes down. Thank you very much, CLG. Back away. Job done.
Right in time to pick up that top lane. I was about to point out that imagine if CLG had pushed that top lane. If they had any issues breaking one of the 2 towers, a giant wave of minions knocking on your top door would have basically opened up, but they got it right in time. Back off, get Dragon. Link gets caught though.
If they didn't get the...
Oh, he is caught. Is it going to be enough to take him down? I'm not too sure if he's getting juked. Double lift comes in. Now they fancy it. He's going to go in towards him, but Link comes back in. Quicks around, and that forces him away. The Dragon gets taken down as well by CLG. Everything going their way. Teleports up for Overpower. He fancies just going to try and quickly get that turret down. Doesn't matter. Zion Spartan's going to be there in a moment. You can see they've already just checked the Dragon. Like, damn it, we're too late.
I feel like if they didn't get that turret on that last push, they would have backed off, because the Baron actually ended right when they got the turret down. And I don't think that Roccat actually saw that, and they just ended up backing off.
They're chasing hard with this wave, you know. Roccat, they want to keep putting the pressure down. They realize that CLG have all backed away. They're actually going to get the inner turret. So a good chase by Roccat to get in there. They know they had a limited window because the super minions are building up in the mid lane. So Roccat at least gets something for nothing.
I think this was some of the scaling issues actually going to come into play for Roccat. Elise doesn't really carry that well in the late game. I mean, you can't really do much against this Jax when he starts getting more and more items. He's starting to reach his real peak in power. He has some magic resist, he has some armor and health in his Triforce. And then on top of that, Pantheon, a lot of people say he falls off, but versus this team comp, all you really need is a body that's going to be a CC to lock people down for that Caitlyn, who's just unbelievably fed. He's 6-item Caitlyn right now. He even has the Merc Scimitar to top it off. And I just think that their team comp right now with the items, it's going to be really hard to deal with.
Yeah, still doesn't have that upgraded trinket though.
Typical double lift.
A little bit left. So selfish. No, he definitely made the right buy there. I saw his inventory, he had about 30 gold left, so finishing that Scimitar probably a little better than getting your oracles.
Oh, of course, of course.
So Link waiting. Bandit found. Is he going to go down? No question on that one. Link's killed him quite a few times. Those kills are definitely racking up for him.
Yeah, LeBlanc is, as Crepo knows, definitely the bane of all supports. You face check the wrong bush, or even go a screen away from the LeBlanc, and you could be certain to.
Yeah, you want to know what it's like to be a Korean support? Play against LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Well, we are seeing CLG. Oh, the hook landed. Woolite down. Boom. Shockwave lands, but it's just not going to get followed up because the AD carry's been ripped apart. CLG looking solid now. They could surely taste victory now. The hook onto Overpower. Now, he is Mega Gnar, but he can't tank through 5 members of CLG. As finally Double Lift takes down the big beastie. The inhib will fall, and surely the Nexus will follow.
I think we made Aframo angry with game 1, you know. Got his cow 0-4, and then he got really angry, and he just lands all these hooks one by one. Oh, look, that's the Nexus. Just
Nexus turrets goes down. The game will go CLG's way as they move into the final, taking down Roccat Some said they were the #1 favorites for this tournament. Doublelift, he has other ideas. Can he pick up his first victory for CLG here at the Intel Extreme Masters? He's in the final. Who's going to join them? We'll find out. The next best of 3 is coming up straight after this.
Oh, I actually have to say I'm really surprised that a lot of people going into this are like, why did they keep Link? You know, Link, he chokes and he's not that good. But he actually carried this series really hard. He played really amazing on the LeBlanc. And yeah, he just pretty much just, like, Zion was faltering in this game. He was not really doing that well. They were doing really amazing in the bot lane because, I mean, Afromu was hitting really good hooks and putting pressure, but...
And it's a big deal because that was a first pick LeBlanc. So, you know, we always say the focus on the first pick. Obviously, Ryu picked it first pick last game. Didn't have that good a deal, but 10-3-6, can't argue with that. 8-0-5 for Doublelift as well. One more thing to say, Crepo.
I still think they should have picked Gnar first.
Me too, man.
I think that was a little selfish.
I don't think anybody's going to argue with you on that.
We'll see how it works out. Congratulations to CLG. They're in the finals. Who will be joining them? Will it be Dignitas? Will it be Gambit? We're going to go to our experts to talk about that final best of 3.
Thank you very much, guys. And yeah, Roccat completely falling apart, but all credit to CLG, also absolutely capitalizing on whatever they've built up in this game. Maybe start by the picks, and of course that first lock-in for LeBlanc, and then not seeing a Syndra for Ryu, maybe a little bit scared to pull that out and going for that safe pick in Orianna.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Orianna at the moment, especially not against something like a LeBlanc, because LeBlanc will go Morel Nomicon and have this very, very big early power spike, and we saw Link basically have all the pressure. He could just push out the wave every time he wanted to, and roam. He went bottom lane, he killed someone. It was just way too easy for him to control the lane, and Orianna pick never really got to do anything for Ryu.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, while the team play was a bit sloppy on both teams' part, amazing performance by Link. Like, he stepped really out. Like, his individual performance actually carried this game really hard.
And also, yeah. No problem. Nothing.
No problem. Yeah, I just want to say, actually Link carried this series pretty hard, like, especially this game. Like, his early game pressure, he didn't do anything later on, but the fact that he actually had like 6-0 or 6 kills in the early game made it possible for CLG. And also the bot lane. The bot lane had like troubles like last game and the game before, but they actually showed why they are considered the best bot lane and completely, I would say, trashed their bot lane. I mean, they had a really good...
You can't say it.
They had a good trade at level 3, forced them base, and then the lane was over.
Yeah, I mean, it's just from level 1, the Gromp fail where Vander got all the XP, and obviously the lane is over at that point against the Caitlyn. Doublelift and Afromu played it super well, punished completely. Link had all the pressure in the mid lane, and as soon as we got out of the laning phase, we saw the lack of like instant engage coming in from Roccat here, so they could never really punish CLG if they were out of position, and Link could just run around like he wanted to, pick up targets. Like Vander died a few times to him just because he tried to face check and get some wards down, and Roccat was never really in the game. It just took some time for CLG to finish, but they always had the control.
Yep.
So what do we make of this now for the side of Roccat? Because they're rumored they are very, very good right now. They had a great performance yesterday. They had a great performance here in the first game. They had all the tools at their disposal. Was it just that, one, CLG hadn't found their best form yet or their right form, and that when that happened, it was over for Roccat, or did it just fall apart?
So maybe they're inconsistent and we have only seen the good side of Roccat, or actually the second game tilted them and then everything fall apart. Like, you never know. You have to see how much they do it in LCS. And I mean, Roccat performed amazing. Like, their team play actually showed that they're a really good team, but we didn't really see anything of that team play in like game 2 and game 3. And I'm actually like wondering what happened there. And communication broke down completely. And CLG got the superior vision control in game 2. Like, their pink ward control around the dragon area was really good. But Roccat picked up a lot of dragons. But just to make like picks and everything happen, like Link had really good flanks on LeBlanc, like always coming from like the right angle, like using the distortion to actually make picks happen. And yeah,
I mean, Roccat is a team who takes a lot of chances in the way they play. There's a lot of like 1v2, dive in, see what happens. Picks. And CLG found a way to punish them, and that's basically how, as soon as you have the first mistake going on in the game, you fall too far behind from your AD carry, it transitions to the mid lane, and so on, so on, so on. CLG just managed to completely snowball it, and Roccat just couldn't come back from that.
Yeah, definitely kudos to CLG, and actually Link has joined us here. Welcome and congratulations, you made it to the final here at IEM. But as we said, got off to a pretty bad start in the beginning. Was it communication issues? Was it the nerves? What went on there in that very first game of the series?
Well, that was like our first game, our first LAN, you know, like together, and like we don't even have our full roster too. So like all we've been doing is streaming for like the past like 2 or 3 months. So it's like, oh, it's so new, and then all of a sudden we're like pressured. There's a crowd, and you know, even though it's small, like I think everyone just kind of wanted to play aggressive, but what held us back was that we had kind of like a more passive team comp and more of a late game team comp, and then we kind of like realized this, right? And that's where we picked it up, and we were like, screw it, let's pick heroes that we can make plays, and let's catch people off guard and kill them.
How has the pressure influenced you specifically? Because obviously there has been a lot written about all the changes in CLG and you still being in that mid lane. Do you ever lose your confidence in yourself when those things happen, or do you know, I still have it, and we saw that fantastically here in that last game, but does that ever get to you?
Of course, I think it gets to anyone, and even if you think or say it out loud that it doesn't get to you, it always affects us, us pro players in general, like somehow in some way. But I think what's really important is that we pulled off this win in this best of 3, especially coming back from a game 1 deficit. And all we're trying to do is we might lose, the finals, right? But our goal isn't this tournament. It's about, LCS and winning it. So all we're trying to do right now is learn and get better as a team. And even though we have a sub on our roster right now, I think we're performing great. And we're going to get better as we progress through this LAN.
How was it actually to play against Roccat? Because the games, there's a lot of action going on, a lot of fighting left and right. For you, specifically in the mid lane, also playing against Rio, how was it? Was it super hard to play against them? Were they very different from what you're used to, or?
I think it's like, they're a good team, and that's one of the traits that I kind of that I see in common with in terms of all good teams. Ryu was kind of different because I felt like they're like a 4+1 team, and Ryu is kind of he's Korean, so the way I saw it was Ryu just kind of did his own thing, and you saw him play assassins Ahri and LeBlanc, but then if he can't do anything and he's playing Orianna, and you need a team comp and you need team coordination if you're going to play a hero like that, then you're going to see a lot less of him, and I felt like I didn't really notice him at all, and in fact, he just kind of died over and over again.
100% agree. Yeah. We barely saw him in the last game.
And don't get me wrong, I think Ryu is a fantastic player, but when he's in an environment like that, it's really hard to do more.
Tell me more about that last game specifically, because you had such a good score in the beginning, then at the end Doublelift kind of took over because he was incredibly fed on Caitlyn, but especially the way you guys played that, because it did turn into a very long game, and as LeBlanc, you couldn't really jump in totally anymore, but we were doing a very good job zoning them.
That last game, it was kind of our fault. We were trying to figure out what we had to do in order to close out the game, and that's because they had a really strong 5v5 team comp, and we had a strong pick-oriented. Our siege is okay, but the problem is that we need to split push in order to get the picks that we needed. And you saw near the end, we kind of figured it out, and people got caught out of position, and it was just a patience game, and that's all that matters in such a long game. You just wait until they make the mistake, and then it's up to us to capitalize on it.
Yeah, I mean, one question is obviously if Skara, how's the coaching going? How's everything in the team house? How's the environment? I mean, it's funny that I ask it because I know it, right? But just wondering, what role does Skara have, and how much did he help you prepare for this tournament?
Hey, it's not just Skara anymore. It's Skara and Tony, Zixlaw. So right now, including those two plus Matcom, they've done a fantastic job in pretty much flipping over the team environment from being really bad and down all the time. Now we're having team meetings all the time. We're all talking. We're all going out for food and stuff, and we're all on a road down to friendship and being friends and just trying to get better together, and that's the important thing.
That is fantastic to hear. Congratulations. We'll see you tomorrow in the final. What a great game that'll be, and we'll see if it will be versus Dignitas or Gambit. That best of 3 is coming up right after this.